Hey everyone, Stephen Judge here, clinical naturopath and nutritionist in Redfern in Sydney, Australia. Just wanted to jump into a few more common myths about naturopathic medicine really quickly. I've had a few things on my mind. Quite a good response to the last video I did, and I just wanted to dive a bit deeper. So yeah, jumping right in, the first myth I'd like to address again is that seeing a naturopath basically means that you have to have a perfect diet, eat clean, never drink, never be negative, always be positive, achieve unrealistic ideals, meditate an hour a day for the rest of your life, and basically radically overhaul your entire life in one go and never indulge or have any kind of fun again. I can entirely relate to this mindset because back when I was quite unwell and I started studying nutritional medicine and getting into health and wanting to heal myself, I put myself through hell trying to figure it all out on my own. And I was unsure about who to ask for help. I didn't really trust anyone. I went full circle into a very purist and depriving way of eating. Punished myself for indulging, which would cycle back into binging and partying and whatever. Like a very all or nothing approach, maybe some of you can relate to, which is something I still work on myself. So now some of this might be my own personal perspective as a practitioner, and that's okay. But in my opinion, this ultimately perfectionist way of thinking about what it takes to be healthy and heal is usually going to backfire because these ridiculously high expectations that you put on yourself are going to stress you out so much that trying to be perfect and dogmatic in this way is essentially not conducive at all to what you're trying to achieve. All this chronic stress and anxiety and self-deprivation around trying to be so healthy is going to be doing you more damage than what you think that the occasional drink or piece of bread or cake or gluten or sleeping instead of exercising is going to do for you. I'm not saying that a really healthy diet, plant-based diet and exercise and avoiding excess alcohol are useless. In most cases, many people I see do need to drastically modify their diet, move a lot more, drink a lot less, or party a lot less. But the point I'm trying to make is that working with a naturopath should be primarily focused on working with you, where you are at in that present moment. And collaborating, it's all about really collaborating together based on what you would like to achieve and what you are ready and willing to do in that moment in time. And it's all about establishing some short and long-term goals together. It's not so much about me sitting back and going, well, you need to do A, B, C, and that's it, without really kind of talking to you about what you would like to look at. This can be a murky area because some practitioners might have an approach of, this is what I think you need to do. A, no alcohol. B, no gluten. C, meditate an hour a day. D, no dairy. E, 10 servings of veggies a day minimum. There you go. There's your treatment plan. Good luck. Without actually asking if this is something you could take on, what you are comfortable with trying after your initial appointment. This is a bit more of a protocol-driven approach, and while much of it is could be entirely valid and correct and good recommendations on paper, I more practice, and I'm sure others do, from a place of assessing you as an individual, asking what you are and are not comfortable with at that point in time, what your own personal goals and focuses are. I'll have my own ideas about what's also important to address, particularly if there's kind of chronic disease states going on. And this is how we collaborate. A mantra of mine to clients and friends is that you do not have to be perfect and never indulge again. But if we can focus primarily on cultivating nourishing and healthy practices over time that just becomes second nature, then we can enjoy indulging activities that we like to engage in without having to feel guilty. And we can have, I don't like to use the term good or bad foods because, food isn't really a moral issue, but we can have foods we have labeled as bad and not feel guilty about it and not be so physically or emotionally affected by it. I like to focus on more what we can add and cultivate into your life, not so much on what we need to cut out and focus on getting rid of. You know, focusing all of your energy on getting rid of the soft drink, or getting rid of the cake, or getting rid of the cigarettes will just give that more power. I can totally relate to that with, you know, giving up cigarette smoking back in the day. You know, I was focusing so much on trying to quit a substance for years, but it was at the point where I just kind of let go of focusing on it so much and just focused on being healthy and nourishing myself. It was almost very slowly and eventually like a byproduct, because I wasn't so honed in on that one thing and giving it so much power. And also, super importantly, above all of the treatment recommendations and supplements, is the importance of having a trusting relationship with your practitioner, which leads me into my second myth, that the reason you see a naturopath is to take supplements. So this is kind of why people think that they don't need to see a practitioner, because they can walk into a health food store and get their advice there, or just see an integrative doctor for evidence-based natural supplements, or go to the thyroid Facebook group or the Pyrrole Facebook group and, you know, figure out what supplements they need. And then, oh, okay, so I've bypassed the need to see a naturopath. This is an interesting one, because even in naturopathic land, we can get stuck thinking that our unique selling point and unique offering is supplements and herbs. This again might be a subjective viewpoint of mine, but I don't truly believe that people who are getting results with their treatments are going back to their practitioner because of their treatment prescription. I believe people either do or do not return to their practitioner or their doctor or their therapist, depending on their relationship with that person. This is so important, because if there is no trusting, healthy and therapeutic relationship with your practitioner, long-term healing will not happen, because essentially this is where the healing process really begins. This isn't a new concept or just a personal belief of mine. This forms the basis of counseling, psychology and psychotherapy, that the healing is in the quality of the long-term relationship. So don't get me wrong, natural medicines and herbs are an essential part of the treatment, but it's not really just about that. It's a combination of natural medicine, the therapeutic relationship at play, tailoring treatments to the unique needs of the person, not just based on protocols and clinical trials. It's really more about tailoring it to that person in the context of their entire life. And also all of this within the body, mind, spirit template of holism and also vitalism. That vitalism is, you know, the approach that there is in fact an innate self-healing capacity at work within all of us that can be harnessed by taking this holistic approach. It's not just about prescribing the supplement or the herb. Yeah, that's a huge one for me I wanted to address. But so in regards to relationships, this leads me into the final myth, that seeing a naturopath for one consultation and perhaps one follow-up or two is going to give you all the tools that you need to heal from long-term chronic conditions. Just think about it this way. If you were going to sign up to the gym to lose some weight and build lean muscle, or see a therapist to help you deal with some underlying emotional issues or suppression or past life events, the same principle applies to healing, in that these things take time. They take time, they take the will and the intention and the commitment and the genuine want to see a shift. You might not see results immediately. Some people kind of give up if they haven't seen an improvement in symptoms or a condition they've had for 5 or 10 years. So like I mentioned before, part of giving healing time to have a powerful impact is having a relationship with a practitioner you can trust, who is not taking advantage of you, and who you can be open, honest, and non-judged with. You know, it's absolutely crucial. Also, so that you have almost a health coach and a mentor who can guide you along the way, guide you to your inner power and your strengths and keep you on track, keep you motivated, you know, and give you the support you need. You know, it's not like you'd go to a personal trainer or a psychologist and get a few pointers in 1 or 2 sessions, and then off you go on your own, and you're going to get this huge kind of impact and growth. You know, you need to be consistent with the guidance and expertise you're seeking. And, you know, this doesn't happen to people falling off out of laziness. I think it's more because people have kind of unrealistic expectations about completely healing within 1 or 2 or 3 consults. You know, I'm not saying this in a subliminal way of convincing people to spend a fortune on hundreds of consultations, but you do need to know it will take time, between 6 and 24 months for some people. But finding a practitioner who's really thorough in their approach, is honest about how they can help, in what ways, and, you know, who have a general idea of how many consultations will need to be followed up and how to space these out over time is important. And, you know, these things may need to be tweaked over time. It's a super individual thing. You know, and I'm confident most naturopaths out there are highly ethical, and we truly, truly care about our clients and, you know, providing a space for them to really heal and get to the root causes of their issues, which is so inspiring and humbling in doing this kind of work. So yeah, that's it from me. You don't have to be perfect. Naturally, you know, it's about working with where you're at as an individual. Naturopathy is not about just taking supplements, and healing will not occur in 1 or 2 consultations. And, you know, invest in yourself and your health. You know, do you put more value on a car, on a house, or your wardrobe than how you feel on a daily basis? You know, really think about these things. It's quite interesting to sit down and really think, you know, how much do I actually value my own self-worth? How much does it mean for me to heal? Do I even want to heal? Some of us might be comfortable in our struggle without realizing it, because healing requires change, and change is super uncomfortable for many of us. It's kind of the paradox of healing, you know, being stuck with a condition or suffering with something, but being comfortable in that struggle, because getting out of it means making some pretty drastic changes and new kind of feelings and stuff manifesting. But this is why it's great to have a practitioner mentoring and guiding you along the way. So yeah, thanks for anyone who might be watching the replay. Please comment and say hi. If you have any insights or questions, happy to get back to you. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.